2.
Okay. Thank you. We're going to bring the July 2021 Falls Township Parks and Rec Board meeting to order. First up is effectively roll call. Looks like we have almost nobody's missing, are they?
Jesse.
No, Jesse. Sorry. All right, who's taking minutes then?
Who wants to do minutes tonight? Not everybody at once? Okay.
Did I ever give them to you when I did them once?
Now we did the May ones. Jesse did the May ones. We did not because we didn't meet last month. So there weren't minutes from May, but I mean minutes from June, obviously. So you'd be approving the May minutes tonight.
Yeah.
May 4th. You all should have copies of that.
Was I there?
Yes.
You were there.
Okay.
I wasn't.
According to the record. Yep.
Yeah, Laney was the only one not there.
Yes.
I got stuck at work.
Okay. All right. So anybody get a chance to look at the minutes? Actually, no, I'm sorry. We didn't get to that yet. Okay, so everyone is present. Jesse is unable to make it. Did you hear from her?
I didn't hear from her, so she chimes in, we'll add her in, but no, I did not.
Okay. So all but Jesse are here. And all right. Anybody want to bring the minutes up?
I'm looking at them real quick.
Oh, okay. All right.
Refreshing my memory here.
Couple months ago.
I read
Right.
them, but I wasn't there, so
Now I make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second it.
Okay. Sherry, Shelley, and then Colleen. Okay. Any comments on the minutes? Questions?
No, they look good.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All opposed? Abstention? Okay. All right. Passes 4-0. Okay. Next, there is my. Can I get back? Next on the agenda. That was the major stuff, right? We'll bring, okay. Well, Kyle's next anyway.
Yeah, we're going to bring Kyle in for his presentation for his Eagle Scout project. So,
Okay.
John, you can bring Kyle into the room if you want.
Art Kyle is now in the room.
All right. Hey, Kyle.
Welcome, Kyle.
Hello, you guys hear
Hi,
me?
Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Kyle.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Excited to have you here for your presentation. So without further, I'm going to give the floor to you. I did kind of inform the board about kind of the overall background of the project, but you can talk a little more about it, and then if they have any questions afterwards, we can go from there. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, floor is yours.
All right, let me share screen. You guys able to see this slideshow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks good. All right, so this is a presentation on the Eagle Scout project for a Gaga pit at Falls Park. Quick introduction. Hello, my name is Kyle Poulin. I'm from Troop 53 out of Levittown. My presentation today is about Eagle Scout project, which I've been looking forward to since I've joined scouting. I've had a couple of projects in mind, but a Gaga pit in Falls Park has always been the ultimate goal, especially since I live right at the park and do a lot of activities there. I feel a Gaga pit would be an awesome addition. Overview of the project. What is Gaga? Gaga is a high-energy game that combines dodging, striking, running, and jumping with the objective of being the last person standing. Players hit the ball at each other with their hands and are eliminated if the ball strikes them on or below the knee.
The game can be played by group or individual players or with teams. All the Gaga Pit options that are coming up have UV protected powder coated steel corner brackets, so that way they last the weather and stay clean. So there's gonna be 4 different options of like different size Gaga pits and different shapes. So the first one is a 24-inch hexagon Gaga pit. It's the least expensive Gaga pit, but great for small spaces and smaller budgets. Next one is 24-inch octagon Gaga pit. It is ideal for smaller players or players looking for a challenging game with shorter walls. You play the same great game with less cost and materials. The 30-inch hexagon Gaga pit system is slightly smaller version of the most popular model, great for smaller groups and spaces. And then the most popular model is the 30-inch octagon Gaga pit, which is most popular and has 8 colors available for you to pick from to match your current playground equipment colors, making it uniquely yours. And after you get the brackets, there's the walls. So the walls will be pressure treated wood to last through the weather and keep any bugs out, and have so that way there's long lasting walls with minimal maintenance needed. The amount and size of wood would be determined by the size of the Gaga pit. So there's a model size and then how much wood you would need, the dimensions. After that would be the ground surface. That would be what you play on. So below is a quick summary of benefits and considerations for most popular choices. A light layer of soft or rubber mulch works great to keep the dirt and mud somewhat insulated. As much as the mulch degrades, you can add more as needed since it is inexpensive, but it's not completely clean, nor does it keep the things dry inside the Gaga pit. Mulch is the most recommended flooring for Gaga pits. Rubber flooring helps keep it clean and dry inside the Gaga pit. It is the most expensive side. It's on the more expensive side, but lasts a while and requires low maintenance. Rubber flooring has the possibility of being slippery when wet. And the last one is crushed limestone or crushed granite. Screening starts off dusty, but packs down to create a more solid surface. It's also a good way to insulate against the mud. Pack down over time, it might create new puddling areas. There's just some pros and cons of different ground surfaces. Next one are some accessories for the Gaga pit to make it better or safer. First one is the Gaga pit wall top cover. Provides a softer edge to the pit walls and used to cover any rough spots on lumber surfaces. Made for durable UV protected polyethylene. Gaga balls is the next one. Gaga balls are a soft, lightweight, vinyl, inflatable 8-inch ball that provides just the right weight, balance, and speed, best for Gaga ball. There's also a Gaga pit rule sheet. There will be a Gaga rule sign made of metal so that way it will last and stay clean in the weather. This will provide an explanation of Gaga and the rules of Gaga for every kid to read and know how to play. This will resolve any confusion or arguments within the pit so everyone can have a nice, friendly game of Gaga. Some possible locations for the Gaga pit. The most recommended that I saw was where the old horseshoe area was, next to the volleyball net. There's also right in the field behind the playground. So there's 2 different locations. It's also closer up to the pavilion and playground and farther away. So it's just anywhere within that field area, but the best spot seemed like it would be at the old horseshoe area next to the volleyball net. Fundraising for this project, my troop does a lot of car washes. So we average around 300 to 400 on a good day. We do many of those. And also me sticks we sell at craft shows or outdoor events. Could average around 100 at a good craft show. And donations, Lowe's and Home Depot likes to help out a lot with wood and mulching. So we could always try to get donations from there to help out for the project. To end the presentation, I want to give my recommendation for the Gaga pit size, flooring, and all of that. So the 30-inch octagon Gaga pit with the wall top cover, so that way it's safer, neater, and then also the metal rule sign.
So that way it lasts the weather, clears up any confusion or arguments within the pit. And then Gaga balls that could be in there, and then so that way anyone can show up and play Gaga. They don't need to bring a ball or anything like that. Next thing is pressure treated wood, so that way it keeps any bug infestations out, lasts through the weather, keeps it nice and neat. And then rubber mulch. Rubber mulch has the least amount of maintenance required to be the ground surface. It also, we could put a weed barrier underneath to stop any grass or weeds from growing up and infecting the game. That is it for the presentation. Are there any questions?
What is your time frame on this that you're looking for?
The time frame is, well, first, if this gets approved, it has to go through the Eagle Scout approval. And then after that, we'll start the building, and it shouldn't take that long. It might take a little bit to get supplies, but it should be like a weekend project to build.
And how many Gaga balls are you thinking of having available in the pit?
Well, I'm pretty sure you can get around 10 of them. So they're not really expensive. So we could start with supplying 10, and then if they start disappearing or people take them, could always supply more of them, or just leave it at people have to bring their own balls to play Gaga.
Is there any way to factor in putting, like, maybe building something to put the balls in so they're not just laying in the pit?
Yes, there could be. Like could do a little shed or something that would hold the balls, so that way they stay nice and neat and they don't
Just
really.
something that they can stay in, so that way, you know, they're not just laying in there, and maybe deter people from trying to steal them.
Yeah. Or even like
Yeah,
a
even like a mesh bag or
Something.
something on the side, like a
Yeah.
mesh bag to put them in, or a little bucket attached to the one side of the outside or something like that.
Yeah, we could definitely factor that in.
Well, the balls are about 8 to 10 inches in diameter.
Mhm.
I recall. So it's yeah, if just left out there, they probably wouldn't last long. If we tried to have it managed, that would be difficult for the guards because we don't have an guard presence there to be at regular. The balls are inexpensive. You know, we could certainly try and experiment with it. But, a storage unit would probably be a simple, vertical box, most likely made out of wood, or even just
Unless you
poles
have-
together where they could sit.
Unless we
Sorry,
try
go ahead.
to, like, ration them. If we, like he said, you get 10 of them or something like that to begin with, we could just put one out attached to a mesh ball, a mesh thing off the pit itself, and then keep the other ones maybe in a storage shed or in the garage. And
Mhm.
then if this park guards notice that one is missing, they just put another one in.
Yeah, we'd find out very, very quickly how long they would last.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah, just from experience, I think the balls would get taken very quickly. To be quite honest, we would probably buy a stock of them, and have them an extra on the side. And, if we have, like say, pavilion rentals there, the spot where, Kyle wants to put it, it's a great spot. That could be part of it. And, check off, we want the equipment for the Gaga pit. And then we can issue them on, for those events. Now, the free play type of thing, that could be something like the idea that you all said, like a mesh net or a wood box, see how that goes. And we could replenish. I don't think that would be a big deal. That would just be a little bit of experimentation and seeing how they would last. But there's a way around that, that we could do it.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting approach. Like I said, we'll just try it, having them available. But if that becomes untenable, we could still maintain a stock, but you have to basically check off that you're going to use it if you're renting the pavilion. And if you're going to rent the pavilion, then the equipment would be available. We don't
I just
actually
think
have
instead of
any other equipment.
I just think if we have like a spot to even put just the one ball that's there, as opposed to leaving it just in the pit, might deter some people too.
Yeah. Yeah, and people could also bring their own set too. Some people might want to do that anyway. And obviously that would be fine. They could just collect them when they're done. So we can come up with some different options there. That would just be something, it's kind of like a trial and error type of thing that we would do there, but that'd be very doable on our end.
So,
And the
this would
maintenance
be
on this would be
installed
light,
prior-
correct?
I'm sorry, Lainey?
I said the maintenance for the pit itself should be not really a lot, considering that they're going to do like the rubber mulch and the wood's pressure treated. So basically just kind of weed whacking around the area, I guess, and just kind of, since you're going to put a weed barrier down inside the pit itself.
Unless anything major happens, should just be weeding around the pit. Other
Okay.
than that, it's pretty much
Self-reliant.
As you're proposing the construction, you would be installing rubber mulch?
Yeah. Well, that's my recommendation for the Gaga pit. Because normal, like wood mulch could wear off over time and you would have to replace it. Rubber mulch stayed there for a while. I think it said last up to 10 years.
You're gonna include that into your proposal,
Yes.
the rubber mulch?
Yeah, we'll need to know how much that's going to cost on a yearly or bi-yearly basis, just knowing how much material you're going to get. Because of, you know, the township does regularly resupply areas with the wood mulch that we have.
Mhm.
So it would require, if we're going to do the maintenance after it's installed, it's going to require, you know, a different maintenance program, which means getting different mulch. And we'll have to be able to demonstrate positively enough that it works in order to get it by the township manager.
Okay.
Well, does rubber mulch, is that more recommended for children interacting like in a play surface? Or is wood mulch still acceptable? I mean, I guess it must be if you guys are still putting it down.
Yeah, well, the wood mulch is typically, you know, what you see at the most playgrounds. The rubber, you know, if you see you know, we have a few playgrounds that has like the rubber matting. That's a whole new animal. That's a whole different animal. That's extremely expensive. That's kind of not what Kyle's talking about.
I mean, I'm just talking about the mulch that they do at like I've seen that in daycare centers and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, and we typically use the wood because we can get a lot of it. But you know, the rubber mulch is the way to go in here. He is right about that. The wood that washes away and gets moved away quite a bit. There'll be a lot more maintenance to that actually.
But
So
you want the ball to bounce. The ball's supposed to bounce.
Yeah.
So, you
yeah, that
know,
would help. Yeah, it would definitely help with longevity. And it's not a huge area to maintain. But like Ralph was alluding to, that's something we got to factor into our ongoing maintenance costs, you know, going forward. You know, we get an idea how much they put in there, how much it is, per footage and yard. Yeah, that would be a good gauge, that we can budget for it. You know, if we had to do some upkeep on it.
do you have to prepare the surface before you put the rubber mulch in?
Yeah, I believe it's just cutting down the dirt to the grass, and then you put down the grass to the dirt, and then you put down the barrier, and you just put the mulch over top, and the barrier should stop any grass and weeds from growing and going up through the mulch.
So are you planning on
Sometimes
getting
if-
this done over the fall? Is that what you're doing? When do you have your appointment yet for your approval?
I don't have that yet, but it should probably take about a month to get it approved by the Eagle Scout board. And after that, we'll start right away with the building and installing.
Have you been approved by their troop yet, or are you doing your troop and then the district level?
I'm approved by the troop.
So now you're
and
with Mr.
next to this one, and then the Eagle Scout head
Mr.
board.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, sometimes, if the material's available, a sand bed can be put down before the weed block material that allows for some better drainage.
Mhm.
Depending on where you put that, the water can pool inside, because if you go down too far with the wood framing, it'll just hold it in there.
Mhm.
Speaking of how far down, what's the diameter you're looking at?
The diameter for the hexagon is 15 feet to 18 feet. So depending on if it's the smaller one or the bigger one. And for the
Well,
octagon,
that's
it's 20
actually
feet
up to-
to 25 feet.
Well, you should be able to modify the size on that. You know, you just, the pieces are just the angles. You can actually change the size of the side and increase the size of it. So you're looking at maybe 20 feet, 18 to 20 feet. Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you called it the old horseshoe pit. Isn't that the old bocce court? And
Yeah.
Brian?
Pretty much, yeah. It's the same thing. That's kind of where the horseshoe pit kind of came into play after the bocce.
Do people use it? Do they bring stuff if they rent the pavilion and use it as horseshoes?
Very rarely, very rarely. You know, we tell them to bring them, but when we first took that out, there was more requests for it, but no, not very often. So that wouldn't be an issue. You know, if that's what the question would be.
Okay, I was just looking at, increasing the amenities, but if we don't have a current demand for it.
No, I can honestly say no, it's not a huge demand, no, for the other activities.
And that's already been prepared for something there, so it's easier for him to put that on it because a lot of this stuff is already done.
Yeah, and it's every location he chose was great, and where the horseshoe and bocce ball court were is a great location for kids using it. It's right off the playground, off the pavilion. It's a great spot.
Okay. And there's enough room for that size, the size he's proposing?
I believe so. I mean, obviously we'll go out and check it out to make sure of that, get out there on site, but I'm pretty comfortable there would be plenty of room away from all the other amenities where it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, if we couldn't put it in where that horseshoe pit was, we can move it to them larger areas he was saying. That there are options. There's plenty of room there. So, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just, are we getting any feedback from the Public Works Department?
Well, that'll be another thing they'll have to maintain going forward. So definitely something I would share with them. And obviously with the boss, the township manager, run this by him also, with the recommendation from the park board, run it up the chain. But I don't really think it would be a big thing to maintain, to be honest with you. I don't. No.
The hardest thing is if it doesn't get used as you get weed.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless the construction fails to provide enough drainage, then you get standing water.
Like you said, Ralph, that's probably the biggest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be probably the biggest concern for anything. Even just anything you would build there similar. If it wasn't this something else. Yeah, that would be the biggest concern there. The structure itself's I don't think it's a lot to maintain, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I would recommend, the highest longevity proposal, which is the caps on the top, like he was talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything that can be as less maintenance over time, which the rubber mulch is the great idea. You say in the all that stuff. Looking at the proposal. We want stuff that's going. Everything we put in there, we want to last a while. So you want to go with everything that's gives it longevity for sure.
Okay. Board have any other questions?
Think so.
Okay. So entertain a motion.
Well, I think it's a great idea. I think Kyle's come up with a lot of interesting information about it. He's researched it. He knows what he's got to do. He knows what he has to raise. So I make a motion that we accept it. I think it'll be great to our park.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, so Lainey, Shelley second. Okay. Any other discussion on it?
No, good presentation.
Yeah.
All in favor of accepting the Mr. Poland's proposal and letting him move forward with it? Say aye.
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 All right. 4-0. So next steps are yours now.
Okay, thank you.
All
I'll
right,
be,
thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Kyle, I'll be in touch with you, okay? With the next,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
All right, Kyle, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Good job.
Yes, you're next, aren't you, Brian?
We have a memorial bench
Memorial bench.
and tree request. Yes. It's just propose, yeah, the donation form is from Sharon Smeltzer. She wants to put in a memorial bench and a Eastern rebud 6-footer tree. It's a tree and a bench. This location will be on the peninsula on phase 2. What's that?
Is it a red bud, you mean?
Red bud.
No,
Yeah,
it's red
I'm
bud.
sorry. She had
No, you didn't write it.
no. Yeah, you're right. Red bud. Yes. The location where she wants to place this is on the peninsula. Over phase 2, right over the bridge there. I did walk this where she wanted it. She kind of had specific instructions of where the one bench is, 20 feet to the left of it and so forth. And then the tree would go 5 feet from there. Plenty of room there, great location. No issues there with her location. So, it's up for consideration for the bench and the tree. The tree would not be planted until the fall. The bench would be done like the other ones which we just previously approved the last meeting or so.
It's pretty far out on the peninsula, or is it right near the existing
If
path?
you go over the bridge, there's a line of benches there right now. There's a few that are kind of it's side to side with them. Yeah, it's about halfway down. Yeah, it's plenty of room there where she wants it. Great location. I walked it last week just to make sure. Be a great spot for it. The
I
tree,
was just,
And it's okay for the tree to be there too, right?
yeah, it shouldn't be a problem at all. There's plenty of room there. And we planted a lot of trees there anyway. So on that peninsula.
it's just, we still have to discuss and see if we can get in the plan to have that path put through there. So,
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't affect where that bench is going now, so. And tree.
okay.
I make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Okay, Shelley, motion, seconded. Memorial bench and tree, okay. All right. All in favor? Aye.
Hi.
I,
Any opposed? Anybody? I guess, no indifference either, we're good. Okay. 4-0. Okay, next.
Park facility, that's back to me again. All right. Just
Yeah, it's- oh, yeah.
provide some updates here on park facilities. Okay. We just installed a new tire swing over at the Vermilion Hills Tot Lot last week. If you remember, we had the tire swing that was there had to come down. It's an older style one, and we just purchased a newer one. It's a little safer to use over there. So that was installed last week. We're actually looking for another bracket for it too. It's fine now, but we're looking to get something newer for it. I'm working on that right now. But right now that's a solid install with that. So that's been replaced. Von Hoffman Playground, Public Works has started the project of digging the ground up for that new triple swing bay over there at Von Hoffman that was approved in the capital budget. We're kind of reconfiguring some things over there at Von Hoffman. It's a very large area for any of you who are familiar with it. We're kind of moving the swing set around. We're going to actually shorten the use area with some borders. It'll be easier to maintain with wood carpeting because right now it's so big. The weeds have kind of gotten away from us there a little bit. Putting this new swing bay in gives us the opportunity to kind of reconfigure things a little bit to make it easier to maintain. That makes sense. going forward. So I'm hoping that'll be done within the next few weeks. I know the guys were working on it pretty hard last week, and there was some emergency work they had to do from the storms last week that kind of popped up that slowed us down a little bit, but I'm hoping to get right back on that shortly. So that's gonna be a great addition over there. Skate park, we're gonna be doing some minor repairs on the skate park tomorrow. We were doing an inspection of it, and just some minor things, a couple bolts we want to tighten. Nothing major, everything's in good shape, but just some things we saw take care of before it becomes bigger issues. So we're gonna be I think Jimmy from Public Works will be doing that tomorrow. I actually talked to him today about that, so that should be done tomorrow. We had some damage to the fence around the storage shed at Pinewood Pool. The chlorine company that drives the truck tried to back their truck up into the driveway and didn't make it. It hit the fence. So that fence needs to be repaired. Fortunately, we're able to temporarily fix the fence. It's fine, because that's where we keep the chemicals in that shed, that newer shed, for those of you that have been in the Pinewood. So we're waiting on the fence company to get back to us when they can get that redone. But it's secure for now. So that happened a couple weeks ago. Community garden, we had a leak where they have a yard hydrant in there to, for water access to water the garden. We had a leak underground, and we had to bring a plumber in. It was kind of an emergency, and we basically had to replace that whole hydrant, essentially. So while he was in there, he put some shut-off valves on it, really put something a lot better than what was in there. So that's done now. The gardeners have access to water. They were only without water for a day or two while that repair happened. So that just came out of nowhere, one of them emergencies. So that's done. The pavilion at the pool has been completed. It was opened on the 19th of June. That pavilion's being used quite a bit by the pool members. They're very happy. So that's where we're at there. So, that's pretty much all I have for facilities right now. With everything else is pretty solid, as far as we know. till tomorrow when you find things out. So I'll move on to the program report. We're in the third week of summer camp already, believe it or not. We started on the 21st of June. We have 88 campers. Remember, we went smaller capacity this year. We were able to add a few more participants, probably since the last time we talked. A lot of the COVID restrictions have been lifted, as you know. Masks are optional in the camp. And they were from the get-go. That was within talking to the school district. They were fine with that. And so far, so good. We're doing a lot of in-house programming for the camp. It's going really well, and the kids are having a good time, and it'll be over before you know it. It goes fast. Pinewood Pool registrations have picked up dramatically. I think the last time we talked, we were way behind where we wanted to be. Now we are ahead of where I thought we would be. It really blew up, probably since right when we opened the pool. Those of you might know Oxford Valley Pool didn't open right away, which is kind of probably our closest competitor. And they are restricted on their hours now as is. They're only open 5 days a week. They're closed Mondays and Thursdays. They're only open 12 to 5. The reason is it's hard to get lifeguards. We're dealing with that a little bit, but we're getting by. So we are probably, as of today, $8,000 ahead of what my season-long projection revenue-wise would be for membership. So it's been a heck of a turnaround, to be quite honest. And our guest fees are falling right in line with that too. So good news there. So the pool's going well. We just had a resignation. We lost a gate guard. She got another job. So we're going to be hiring a new one. We have somebody in the pipeline for that. And I'm looking to hopefully hire another 1 or 2 lifeguards to help. We could use a few more. We're not in terrible shape, but when the college kids go back a little bit, it's going to be a little challenging in August. Good thing is the ones we're hiring are high school kids. So they're kind of getting the baptism by fire right now, working a lot. And I think by August, they'll be able to pick up the baton and run with it. So doing well there. Yoga by the Water, our second session started on the 28th of June. We had 5 participants from that, down a few from the first session. The weather's been kind of hot. We're doing it outside at the park. I think probably come fall, we'll be back in the senior center to do that, which I think we might get those folks back that the heat bothers, even though we do it in the evening. So that's going fairly well. We have National Night Out scheduled for August 3rd, which is the first Tuesday. We'll have to talk about our park board meeting date, and we'll have to do something different. Trying to get with the police and the fire department right now to see what they can offer. Right now, I can tell you we're having mini golf, a balloon artist, a couple food vendors, and a couple bounce houses for the kids. So it's like a 6 to 8:30 type of deal. Most of the municipalities are doing that around us. So we just want to be involved in that because we couldn't do it last year. So that's in the works right now. Summer concerts started on the 20th of June. We've had three so far. They've been very well attended. People are very happy with that. The weather's been good. That's the key. So we're rolling there too. We came up with an agreement with the Mid-Atlantic group. That's the group we did the drive-in movies with last summer. The whole drive-in movies, which we're probably going to do probably in the fall and close to Christmas. Drive-ins aren't as popular as they were last summer because people have more stuff to do now. But we're going to be working on doing some concerts at the park. The last Friday and Saturday in July. Friday night's going to be country night. It's going to be a Zach Brown tribute band, a couple other country acts. And then Saturday night's going to be a classic rock night. So, and that's going to be walk-up concert. It's not going to be a drive-in. So they'll park in the lot and walk up. And it's be like a field type of concert. So right now, I tried to check with Kyle today, see how ticket sales were going there. Waiting for him to get back to me. If they do well, if that weekend does well, we're going to do another weekend at the end of August. So I'll know a little more on that probably at the next meeting, obviously how we did. And we do stand to collect some revenue this go around from tickets sold. I think we get $1 for every ticket sold out of it or something, which we get 1,500 people. We could do pretty well. So that'd be good revenue for the park. DV3 Flag Memorial took place 6/11 to 6/13 is very popular. We didn't have that last year. Those guys were very appreciative. The ceremony was great. They're renaming that to Jesse Hill Flag Memorial. Jesse Hill passed away. I think going forward, it's going to be known as that. It was a great event. Anybody that knew Jesse, he was a really nice guy, and they had some really good tributes to him at the ceremony on that Sunday. So that went well. Tonight was the start of session 2 of the archery program, where we had 36 kids for session 1. We had 15 for session 2, which isn't bad. Some of the kids are in camp now, but to have another group of 15, if we maybe pick up a couple more in this session, that would go well. So that runs for 6 weeks. So that started tonight, actually. And the Skateboard Foundry Summer Camp, we only have 3 registered participants for that. We need to get 5 for them to have it. So I'm going to work on that, see if we could pull that off in August. And archery's looking to do a week-long summer camp too. I think we need a few more to pull that off. We scheduled them right after our camp ends at the end of July to see if some kids might take advantage of that. So I'll know a little more hopefully in a couple of weeks on both those programs. We're getting that lining up for a family festival is Saturday the 18th. That's good. We're doing the Touch a Truck that morning and the family festival that night. So we're doing a double header. Right now I'm booking food vendors for the family festival. So that's going pretty well. Probably making some announcements for table vendors. And obviously we're booking the bounce houses, the balloon artist, face painting, all that stuff that we normally have for that event in September. And the fireworks obviously will be the big attraction at the end of that event. And summer discount tickets, we do have a limited number of attractions. We did get tickets for Adventure Aquarium, Knoebels, Maurice Pier, and Splash Zone. Obviously, they came in late and they're limited. We usually get more offerings, but way things were, amusement parks wouldn't know what was going to happen earlier in the year, but we jumped on and got what we could this year. So that should get back to normal next year. So that's pretty much what I have, for updates. And any questions on that?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
We're busy. Everything's busy, but it's moving forward.
Does it? We have no guests to comment. Is there any board comment?
Do you need anything from us at National Night Out, or are you good with just what the vendors are setting up?
Honestly, yeah, if you just want to come out, if you want to stop out for a couple of hours, check it out. I'll probably be getting out there public with something soon. I'm waiting for the police to get back to me because I want them to kind of, the police should be involved in this event. If, historically, that's something they kind of run, but kind of taking the ball and running with it a little bit. But we try to get the K9s out there, and we try to get the smoke truck from the fire department. Maybe the command center for the kids to check out if we could pull that off. If you could just come out for it and just, come and take a look and then come out, that would be great. I don't think we'll need much.
Okay.
It's a 2 hour, it's a smaller event. We're not going crazy on table vendors. I'm going to hold that off till Family Festival. And then we'll have that big day in September. Touch a Truck's going to where I'll probably need some help, especially for giving stuff out. What we're doing there, we're still meeting on that. That's been kind of quiet. I got to start really, getting in on that, getting the sponsors on board. A lot of sponsors rolled over from last year, so we kind of have them lined up. So there isn't a lot of newness there. I don't think the giveaways, we're going to probably give away coloring books that we were going to give away last year. I just got to change the sticker on them because it had the year on them. And I had wristbands I was going to give out, and I put the year on them, which I never do normally. I'll probably give them out. If the kids want them, they can take them, and I'll give them out at the Family Festival too, just to get rid of them. So we always do giveaways there too. So we'll give as many out that day.
Do we know if any of the other townships are having a Touch a Truck or anything going on that same weekend?
Not that same weekend, no. I know Bristol's doing one. I think, and their Fall Fest is the following. No, theirs is the week before ours, 9/11. They're doing theirs on Saturday, 9/11. We're doing ours on the 18th. So I don't think they're doing a Touch a Truck, but it won't conflict with ours. I try to reach out to the municipalities about that stuff. To say, hey, when you doing yours, so we're not competing on a certain day. And obviously, we keep that line of communication open. So no, we should be fine there. You just hope for good weather. That's the key. Yeah, Ralph, I got to talk to Lenny. I don't think I could do the car show as part of Family Fest because I need that parking lot all day. It's going to be a quick turnover. So,
I think you already had pretty much discussed that with him, right?
I think I did. I just probably wanted to follow up to ensure that. Are you guys going to do a Labor Day one like you did last year? Was that?
Yes.
So
that should be on your calendar.
Yeah. So I think there wouldn't be a need for you to do one 2 weeks later. Not that I wouldn't want to have you there, but I can really use that parking lot.
When we've done that, it's not been. We actually did that. Couple times where we just had back-to-back shows, and it just In fact, one of them was it last year or the year before? We had them close together.
I think it was. I wasn't sure what kind of turnout. And the bigger challenge this year is we're doing Touch a Truck 9 to 2, and we got the turnover. Yeah, the other thing starts at 4:30, so it's going to be tight.
If I were, and I thought you would talk to him and already kind of said no.
So normal years I'd say let's do it, but with doing both events the same day, it's because that lot, I might have people in that lot that might stay and not even leave it from the morning, so and then so I'll touch base with him just to make sure. But I think you guys probably had the best weather for car shows that I've seen so far. So I know
Well, the best, we've had some great weather for our shows.
Yeah, so I don't want to jinx it. I probably just jinxed it, but
Yeah, you probably did.
I probably did. So you can come yell at me later, but they're going well. So, and he's going to do his October one again, which is good. Yeah, that'll be great. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll start meeting again in person next month. We have to come up with a date though, because National Night Out is scheduled the night of what our meeting would be. So, you know, if that's something you want to do that Monday, maybe Wednesday, the week after, because we should have a meeting since we didn't have one in June. That's, you know, otherwise I'd say we wouldn't have a meeting. But,
Brian, what would the date be if you weren't having that event? What would the date be? Would it be the 3rd?
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so I'm on vacation that whole week.
Okay. Would you? We can meet the week after.
I'm not working this summer, so
Yeah.
listen,
I can meet.
I'm just on vacation that week.
Nah, no problem. Nah, totally understood. I mean, that works the following Tuesday. What's the 10th?
The 10th.
That works for everybody. We could do that. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll
with
come
me.
then.
And
Yeah, I'm going to be out of town coming back on the 2nd. So the 10th
Yeah.
would probably work better than
Okay.
that Monday.
that's fine. Lainey, that work for you? Would that
Yeah,
work?
it's fine.
Ralph, you know, we could shoot for that.
10th, yeah, I don't have anything on the calendar for that day.
All right, so let's shoot for the 10th, and we're going to meet at the Township building. I would have had the meeting in person tonight, but there was a conflict with the public meeting room. But now I have it booked every first Tuesday. I got to check now; it's the second Tuesday, so I'll come up with something if it doesn't work out. We'll just meet at the public meeting room. You know, it's air conditioned, and yeah, 3 Arts is a bit of a mess right now with stuff in there, and it's too hot. We can maybe talk about that in the fall or the winter, but I'll check with Rose tomorrow. I'll confirm that with everybody. I'll say the 10th, and if not, well, we'll come up with something. Yeah, I think we might have done Zoom. I think we can meet in person, and we'll figure something out.
Sounds good.
We could back upstairs in room 202 or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, there's no tape. Well, you know, they made me move out of there, and now there's still nothing in there. So if I could put a couple tables in there, yeah, I'll talk to them about it. They were supposed to use that for something. I don't know. I had to get all my stuff out of there like last year, but I don't know what's going on with it. So I don't know. But yeah.
If they want us to have the meetings in person, they have to provide a place for us to do that.
Exactly. So I would say the old manager's conference room, that's where all the computers got, you know, building R2D2 in there. So I don't know what's going on. So I was going to use that room. That was my goal, the old manager's conference room. We can meet in there, but that's got a bunch of computer stuff in it. So I don't know, you know, that would have been another option. That's kind of what I wanted to do originally, but we'll work it out. I'll get a spot. Not a problem. So that's all I have.
Sounds good.
Okay.
It's good seeing
All
you.
right, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll come up with some meeting minute notes. I'll do my best. I'll send them over.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.